What's up, gang? Welcome back to Pretty Girl Gang TV, where we do nothing but conduct pretty girl business. It's your girl Jeanina here, and I am back with another video for you guys. And in today's video, we're going to be testing out the new Makeup Forever HD Undetectable foundation. Okay, let me tell you guys, if you guys watch my vlog before this video, and I'll actually link it in the cards above. Now, I had a very hard time trying to find my shade in this foundation. I am a Makeup Forever fan. I did have their original HD, I believe Ultra it was called, foundation, and in the shade Y455. Now that was my shade, so I was expecting to go into Sephora and pick out Y455, but I didn't. Okay, I actually got 4 in 62, which is in for neutral. If you guys watch my makeup videos, you guys know that I typically gravitate towards yellow or golden undertone. I only do neutral when I can't find a yellow undertone, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Run the footage. So for primer today, I'm going to be using my Bobbi Brown face base because my face is just extremely dry. I just washed it to make sure it was clean for this review, but for some reason it's still cold here in Virginia and it is wreaking havoc on my skin. But anyway, like I said, if you guys watch my vlog prior to this video, and like I said, I will link it down in the cards above, I had the most stressful time trying to pick out a shade for this foundation. Like I mentioned earlier, in this foundation, well, at least in their old version, I was the color Y455, but they didn't have that shade, so I ended up settling for a shade. And I'm telling you guys, I swatched so many shades, it was ridiculous. So anyway, I settled on 4 in 62. I don't feel like it's a good match, but I'm gonna let you guys be the judge of that. So here is the foundation packaging. If you guys are interested, you guys know that I am a packaging girl. I love the packaging. Now, this packaging is definitely reminiscent of the original HD Skin foundation. Now, the actual bottle has definitely changed. If you guys had the original Makeup Forever HD foundation and you remember, the foundation bottle was a little longer, it had kind of a black top. This one kind of has like a short brown top. The overall bottle was a little shorter. It does look a little sleek, a little bit more modern. So I'm feeling the packaging. Their new packaging I'm definitely feeling, but their shade range I'm definitely not feeling. Now, in the old HD foundation, I believe there was something like 45 to 50 shades. In this foundation, I believe there's 42 shades. So they did kind of go down. I mean, don't quote me, girl, I could be wrong, but I just feel like there was more shades and a more in-between shades when it came to their old version of the HD foundation versus this one. Now, like I said, the shade that I picked up was 4 in 62, and that supposedly equates to Y505. If you see that right there on the box. And like I said, I was Y455. They didn't have anything that was similar to that, so I ended up picking this shade. I'm gonna swatch it for you guys just so you guys can see how it looks on me. So that's how that's looking on me. Okay, so it's supposed to be neutral. This is not pulling neutral for me, okay? And let me say this. Honestly, when I swatched a bunch of shades that claimed they were Y for yellow or N for neutral, I was not feeling that at all. I did not see any yellows. All I see is orange and red undertone when it comes to the brown skin girls. I don't know about the lighter skin shades, but the shades in my range, I'm definitely not seeing any yellows, any neutrals. It's just all orange and red. So that was very disappointing for me. And actually, I was like extremely shocked because Makeup Forever normally does a really good job when it comes to the shades. Like I said, I had a perfect match, which was Y455. And I also feel like they kind of did some big jumps in between shades. They could have like put some shades in between shades. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go with this we're gonna test this out and see how this works. Before we test the foundation, I did want to go over some specs and claims of this foundation with you guys. I do have some notes here. I had to write them down because I felt like one of them kind of played on words a little bit. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes, girl. But the first one here was covers imperfections for up to 24 hours. I feel like that was a little play on words because of course it's going to cover your imperfections, but is it going to last 24 hours in order to cover my imperfections? Does that make sense? You know, so I feel like they're kind of playing on words. So are you trying to say that this will last 24 hours without saying that it's gonna last 24 hours because you know people will test if it'll last 24 hours? I mean, I don't know someone who wears makeup for 24 hours, but you possibly could. And you know, I don't know, I just felt like that was a really weird claim to claim. Yeah, so anyway, I thought that was kind of a play on words, and it was a little bold to say 24 hours. So I'm kind of wondering, does that mean it's gonna last 24 hours or what? Second one is supposed to be waterproof, which is a big claim as well. I'm not gonna test waterproof, but I'm definitely gonna test it one of these days. Medium buildable, long wearing, natural finish, and best for oily combo skin. So that is the reason why I decided to also try this foundation. If you guys watch any of my makeup videos, you guys know that I am definitely oily. Not oily combo. I can be oily combo when it starts to turn winter, but most of the time I'm dry. But most of the time in the summer, girl, I am extremely oily. So if this foundation can control my oils, I'm down. Use my little palette here, and I'm gonna do one pump. Now here's the consistency of the foundation. I don't want to blind you guys with my lighting, but it's a little runny. So that's a little surprising for me because I believe the old Makeup Forever HD foundation was it was runny, but it was a tad bit more thicker because I think it was a full coverage foundation, to be honest. Ooh, so already, girl, the color is not looking good for us. Okay, it's definitely not looking good. Gonna use my favorite Morphe foundation brush and buff this out. Yeah, it's definitely pulling a little orange for me. I don't know what you guys are seeing on camera because sometimes I notice that my camera, it can definitely look like it's a perfect match, but it definitely is not. It's definitely orange or red undertone. There is no neutral in this color at all. So that's all I'm pretty much getting. I do still have a little bit on my palette. I'm actually going to put about 2 more pumps on there and see where that will get us. So far, the coverage is, I would say, medium buildable. And it's actually very, very light. So undetectable on the skin. I will definitely give it that. I can't feel anything. And when I was placing it on my face, it did like feel very like, it feels like it's just kind of gliding across my face, which is nice. I'm gonna use a little bit more on my problem areas where I have most of the hyperpigmentation. I feel like my hyperpigmentation this week is getting a lot better. So I've been using less and less foundation to cover it, but for the sake of the medium buildable, I do want to test that out. And also I feel like my acne scars are getting lighter because I've been using a different nighttime skincare routine. But I hate when my hyperpigmentation scars start getting light because I feel like they're more noticeable when they're a light brown color versus a dark color. I don't know, I feel like when they're darker they just kind of blend in a little better. When they're lighter, they're just a little bit more noticeable. So we're gonna build up the foundation a little bit more than I normally would. Ooh, and it's definitely a really pretty finish. So natural finish, check. Definitely like the finish. I've been definitely feeling a natural or a glowy finish lately. Kind of like your skin but better type of look. I only do the mattifying makeup when I'm gonna be wearing like a mask, if I'm gonna be out like in the crowd. But this is my style now right here, this kind of like glow within. So it definitely looks good. Definitely the coverage is good, and it's definitely like very light. It feels like, I don't know, it reminds me of Huda Beauty's water jelly. It like her primer, her water jelly primer, it just kind of, it feels like it's not sitting on top of my skin. It's kind of just blending in with my primer, with my oils, and it just feels like my makeup just has like a lived in feeling. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel so like fresh. It just feels like it's already lived in, and I can't feel anything on my skin. It's not cakey. It actually looks good. The only problem is the color, like I said, but we can definitely make it work. So I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup. I'm gonna use these ColourPop concealers, and I'm gonna go pretty light just because the color is a little darker than what I want it to be. I'm gonna use this color. Now let's see what that does. Let's see if this cuts us some slack on the color here. And I like to go over it with my foundation brush just so it can blend in a little better. I feel like it's low-key saving the foundation already. So let me set it. I'm gonna set it with my Huda Beauty setting powder. Let me just make sure, let me just go over my concealer one more time, especially under here. I've been getting creasing lately because of these little fine lines under here, girl. I'm just like, ugh, welcome to early 30s, okay. So I just want to make sure I blend in the makeup before I set it, because I don't want to set any creases. I'm going to set the top of my eyelids and throw a little bit more powder just on those areas to set the concealer and to add a little bit of color. I don't want to get too powdery. I did kind of want to leave this natural finish. I'm kind of feeling that. So now I'm going to just bronze up a bit, and I'm going to use this Glamour bronzer from Morphe in the shade Phenom. Oh, and she's pigmented. Girl, I haven't used this Glamour bronze in a while. So I kind of forgot Morphe don't be playing, okay. Oh, and girl, look at this. I'm bronzed. Not bronze, but bronzed. I'm bronzed to the gods. Miss Morphe don't be playing, okay. Get that jawline there. And lately I've been going a little higher with the bronzer on the jawline, because normally I would just kind of go under here, but I've kind of been going a little bit above the jawline just so it can create a cast. I feel like sometimes I get too scared to do that, but then I remember, like, girl, like, you have to sculpt the jawline in such a way sometimes. I'm gonna use an eyeshadow brush so I can better define this little contour that I'm doing and kind of push it to my eyelid here, and that'll be kind of like my little fake eyeshadow. I feel like putting on some blush because my hair is back, and I'm gonna use this Bite Beauty Daycation in the color Melon Mojito. I haven't used these since I bought them. I think I only used them one time. And it's kind of like a liquid blush. Here's the color that I'm gonna use. I always get nervous with like liquid blush because it's kind of like placement is everything. I feel like with powder, you can kind of like place it wherever and not worry about it. But with the liquid, it's kind of like you gotta kind of be strategic where you place it. Okay, so now that we got a little color going, I'm actually gonna spray my face with the Patrick Ta mist because I do kind of want that natural finish to kind of pop out. For mascara, I'm using the ColourPop Act Natural, and I am gonna go no falsies. Now, last but not least, for lips, I'm gonna do a Juvia's Place combo, their lip liner in Brownie, and I don't remember what this shade of lip gloss is. As you can see, it kind of rubbed off, but I have been doing this combo all week. I don't know what possessed me to do it. But this has been my little lip combo, girl. I wish I can find out this color for you guys, because it just kind of rubbed off. This color is just so beautiful, especially on brown skin girls. I just feel like it just pops. This would be like, I think, my nude color. You guys, so this is my completed look using the Makeup Forever's HD Skin Undetectable foundation. Now, I have some thoughts, okay? For the most part, I would say that the foundation did work out. The formula is excellent, okay? If they were trying to reformulate, re-edit, edit, whatever you want to say, their formula did a good job. Okay, it's definitely weightless. It's definitely undetectable. My skin does look like skin. Before I even sprayed on my spray, you guys saw the finish. It was a natural finish. I really, really like the natural finish look, like the overall, you know, your skin but better type of look. I really like that. And for me, this foundation is giving, it's giving a serum foundation. That's what it's feeling like, and that's what it's kind of sitting on my skin like. One of my favorite serum foundations at the moment is the Clinique. I forgot what it's called. It's the Clinique Better Skin or something. I'll put a picture on the screen. I did a review about that as well. That is like my overall favorite go-to like serum foundation, and I feel like this is giving that. It's just very lightweight. It's very like skin-like. Now, will I say they did a good job at reformulating? Yes, they did. Even though I feel like Makeup Forever's original HD foundation was great, I mean, this new formula, okay, 2022 version is definitely great. But the only thing I did not like was the shade range. Makeup Forever, for me, used to be known for having a lot of yellow shades and in-between shades. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I'm not saying that a brand should have a ton of yellow shades because I like yellow and golden shades. I'm saying that Makeup Forever, for me, with their shade range, when it comes to like neutrals and orange and yellows, they always got it right. But now I think rebranding, the formula is great, but they need to work on the shade range, because like I said, Makeup Forever was that girl that I felt had a shade in between a shade. Because with my color, I feel like with my shade range, in most brands, I can literally do one of their already made shades, but then if they did a shade in between that shade, it would be perfect for me. And I feel like Makeup Forever did that with their old HD Skin or HD Ultra Skin foundation. But for this one, the shade range is just not good for me. There's absolutely no yellows. I mean, they claim that there's yellows in there, but for me, it's a no. Like the yellows, there's no yellows in there. For me, the undertones are just orange and red for the brown girls. Like I said, I don't know anything about the lighter shades because I didn't test those out. But for my shade range, I just don't feel like there's any yellows, and I don't feel like there's any neutrals. Like this foundation is supposed to be neutral. The color that I chose, 4N62, it's not fully neutral for me. I don't know what you guys are seeing on camera, but it's definitely not neutral. We were able to save it. It is what it is. Like I said, the formula is amazing. I love how they reformulated and they rebranded. The packaging, everything's great. but the shade range just needs to be worked on, okay? So the question is this foundation worth your money? Yes, if you can find your shade. Okay, if you can find your shade. Because if you're like me and you had a shade, chances are it's gone. Okay, because most of the Y4s are pretty much gone. You're gonna have to try out some shades and just figure out a new number. Anyway, girl, that's my review. That is my professional makeup YouTube opinion on this new HD Skin Foundation. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe to the channel, girl. And when you do subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time the gang posts a video. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.